Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you are new around here, I teach kindergarten through 6th grade music, and today we are talking about all things National Kodaly Conference. I just got back from the conference actually yesterday. We left Thursday at like 8 o'clock at night, got it was actually in Portland, Oregon, which was so cool. I've never been to Oregon before, let alone Portland. I've heard how cool it is, and you guys, the rumors are true. Like, it was trendy. It was so trendy. It was really cool. There was all these people with all this different style, and just I enjoyed like the weirdness in the nicest way. It was kind of like there was like a celebrated weirdness. I feel like I've never been to Austin, but I feel like that's what it's like. So it was really cool to go there. Of course it did rain, but that's okay. It was just like more of a mist every once in a while. But you know, that was typical. That was typical. I was expecting that, so it was really cool. So we got back in like 2 o'clock in the morning. We finally get there, and oh my goodness, we crashed. We stayed in this really cool hotel called the Heathman's Hotel, and it had this like really cool book study, and there were hats everywhere, like kind of, you would feel like a detective would wear that hat. I don't know how to explain it, but it was really cool. I'll insert a picture right over here for you guys so you can see our room. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I would say is just it was on the small side. Like the bathroom, like I kept clunking into things, but you know, that goes with being in the middle of the city, and it was a great location and a really cool hotel. So finally, when we got there, we crashed. We did not get up. I'm just gonna be real, you guys. We did not get up for the very first session. We were just so tired. We did not have our lives together on this trip. We booked our flight a little bit later, and so we didn't have a very good flight going in. And so we did not get to our first session until maybe like the second session. But I'm gonna talk about a few of them that I really enjoyed. So one of the very first sessions I went to was called Global Soundscapes, and it was so cool. It was by this lady named Colleen, and she just had so many good like one-liners that I just took, and I was just like, oh, this is so good. So the very first thing that she said that I took away is just like, when you're doing world music, it should not be this little world music box where you're like, okay, now we're doing world music, guys. We're gonna take the month and we're doing this unit. No, it should be sprinkled in everywhere, and it should be something where we're just doing music. We don't have to call it world music or cultural music, because music is music. So I thought that was really cool. The second thing I took away from her is doing something called a gallery walk. So when you are introducing a new song to students, that you also, you know, do a bunch of pictures of the culture and customs and dress and food, and you know, you put it on the ground and she laminates them, and there are these huge pictures, and she then has the kids walk around and look at those pictures while they're listening. And she said it's so cool what the kids get out of it, and they have this organic discussion after. And so that's really, you know, it's very active listening when you're doing this. She said also you could just do pictures on like a PowerPoint, but she's like, just have a bunch. She's like, don't have like 2 pictures to represent an entire culture. Like, have modern pictures, have traditional pictures, have all kinds of different stuff. And she even gave us Instagram. I'm gonna put it here. So we were listening to some Native American music at first, and she said that she's been going through all these different tribes and taking pictures from them and then like putting them on her Instagram, and so she pulled a lot of pictures from there, which was really, really cool. So that was a great session. It was a great start off to the conference. And then after that, we had some lunch. We went to this place called the Picnic House, which it was #1 on Yelp for lunch, and it was for a reason. I had this like shrimp salad, like delicious sandwich panini thing. I had an awesome like delicate roasted salad. Like, it was so good. I never have been so excited about a salad and a sandwich. So we went to that, and then I went to another session that was Japanese folk songs and games. And so this teacher taught us a lot. It was really cool, and it was very validating because one of the songs that she presented on was one I did for our cultural fair concert in the beginning of the year. So that was just kind of like a little, like, I'm like, all right, I'm doing something right. So that was really nice and validating. So for that, I learned 2 new songs and games that I think are going to be big hits. So the very first one we went through it's called Anta Gata do Casa. And I am sure, like, I need to do my research. She went through these songs really quick because we only had 45 minutes in this session. So I am sure, like, I need to go back and do a little bit of study and make sure I'm saying these things correctly. But it was a really fun game. So in the song, there's this syllable saw, like, a million times in it. And so the kids, this like a playground game that, like, kids have played for ever and ever in Japan, and they have a ball, and so every time they're bouncing it to the steady beat, like dribbling it, and then they have to kick their leg over like that and while they're bouncing the ball on every saw. So da 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 saw, and they have to put their leg over and keep dribbling da 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 saw, da 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 saw, and it just gets harder and harder and harder. They got to keep the dribbling going, putting their leg over top like they're bouncing the ball underneath. So that was really cool. So Saturday, let's talk about Saturday. A few highlights of them is I started off with a ocarina. I started off with an ocarina session, which was really cool. If you are not familiar, they look like this. I got a free one at the session, which was such a cool little win. There is the guy that presented has actually a YouTube channel that, again, I'll link it because I think he's called the Ocarina Owl. But he was so good. He was just so like calm and had really great things to say, and you can just tell, like, he's one of those teachers that, like, I'm sure the kids just feel like calm because he's so calm, and you can tell, like, he's just so passionate. The other instrument I got is also an ocarina, but it's a 6-hole ocarina. So let's talk about the difference between these two. So the idea is that this could be a recorder, you know, what's the word? A recorder alternative. There we go. So the idea is that this could be a recorder alternative or, you know, in addition, but it's pretty cool. So we started off with this one. This is the 12-hole ocarina, and he did a little bit of history behind it, and just it's so cool because ocarina like started one place and just traveled all of these different countries, and we finally have this one today. But it has a really rich history, and it's just represents so many different cultures. So how you play it is you have 2 thumb holes on the back. So you put your thumb, and then you have your left hand and your right hand, and then you can blow, which has a really cool sound. I love all the lower notes, but you are going to start off with some higher notes. So he did B-A-G, just like the normal recorder. So he taught us first G, which is 2 thumbs and your 4 fingers on top. Uh-oh. And then he said just like you just rest your fingers here that you're not using. Then you lift off your ring finger. This is A. And finally you had the rocker one. He talked about how your 2 fingers lift off. You keep your first finger in your pinky. Your 2 thumbs are always staying on. So that's like the rocker one. So if you want to play like hot cross buns, here's what it would sound like. So I really liked this. I would say this is definitely, I don't know if I would use this with any younger than 4th grade because the holes are quite big. That was my only concern. He talked about how he might put a sticker over this pinky one that's really hard for people to get to. But honestly, I just think, and he said, and I trust him, he has said like there's only been a few kids that he really has needed help with that. But I just like think of my little 4th grade fingers and just how small they are, and it would be tough for them. So I would say that this might be something I would try like in 6th grade. They're about 20 bucks. This was like 20 bucks, which I'm sure you get a little cheaper if you're getting like a class set. But I think it's really cool because it has such a rich history of like a lot of Game Boy, Nintendo songs, Zelda, Legend of Zelda are played on the ocarina a lot, and so I think this would really be interesting for your maybe 6th grade boys, 5th grade boys. I mean, who doesn't want to play a video game song on their ocarina, which looks like it should be in like Star Trek or in Star Wars. So I think it'll be really cool for them. But I also have another alternative, which is the 6-hole ocarina. So it has 4 on the back, or 4 on the front, and 2 thumb holes on the back. And so this one, you play like this. You have your 2 thumb holes, and you cover those. And so the very first note that you would learn on this is C, which is just your 2 thumb holes, and then you just rest your 2 fingers on the side. and then you have your first finger on your biggest hole. He said you don't do left and rights. He just, like, if you look, the biggest hole, you cover that one, which is nice for them because left and rights are always hard. And then finally you put one more finger down. So you have C, B, A. So pretty cool. I think this would be way more approachable for kids. And this is a tenor one actually, but he said there's a even smaller 6-hole ocarina that would be good for 2nd graders, which I think my 2nd graders, 3rd graders, and I did see it, it's tiny, it's teeny tiny, so it'd be perfect for those little hands. And I think it'd be really cool to start them off in 2nd or 3rd grade with that. Then we do recorder in 4th grade, and then like 5th grade ukulele, and then like 6th grade ocarina. Like how cool would that be? Like the kids would get so much experience like playing different types of instruments. So that was really fun, and we'll see. I'm intrigued. And the last session I went to was called Sticks and Stones, and it was like singing games that involved sticks and stones, if it makes sense. And we did this really cool song from New Zealand. I will put it right here because again, I am not totally sure on the pronunciation of things. I gotta do a lot more research. I'm just a day back from the conference, so but it was really cool. I just got hooked immediately because she showed a video of some New Zealanders and they were doing the stick game that goes along with this, and it's so cool. So you can just use rhythm sticks. She had PVC pipe that's cut to like maybe this much, and what happens is you have two hands. Let's say I have rhythm sticks. I'm gonna tap them on the ground, then I tap them together, and then you actually end up tossing them to your partner. So you're facing your partner, tap, tap, toss, and at the same time then you have to catch the other person's. Tap, tap, toss, tap, tap, toss, tap, tap, toss. It was so cool, and it was in 3, so it was like the perfect thing to get you ready for if you want to do Tinikling, which is from the Philippines, and because that's in 3, so that was like a really good feeling. There was some tossing. You could also do like these different patterns. Look at, I'll link the video that she showed because it was just so cool. And the idea behind it is like back in the day there were a lot of battles and they used like swords and daggers, and the idea of this was like they had to train throwing daggers and catching them and swords, and so it was kind of like has a warrior battle kind of background behind it, and so that became this stick game, which is just so cool in my opinion. I enjoyed it so much, and I literally, she was like, anyone want to try it? And I like literally zoomed out there and like pushed people back. No, I'm just kidding, but like I was like, I better get some rhythm sticks. I want to try this so badly. So I think your kids will like it too. Alright guys, that's pretty much my highlights of the trip. There were some awesome, great moments too. Portland is just so cool. I drank so much coffee, like I probably had like the jitters because there was just such great coffee there. I ate octopus at this one restaurant that like literally I was like, no, Kevin, no, we're not getting that thing. And then we got it and I took one bite and I was like, octopus is my favorite. It was such a foodie city. They had voodoo donuts. We went, but the line was way too long and we had to make it back to a session, so we did not, but we took a picture in front of it. It was great. We also went to Pal Books, and yeah, Portland had a good vibe. It was really fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you gained a little tidbit of maybe something you can research a little bit more and bring to your classroom. All right guys, catch you in the next one. Bye.